After bringing Mobi into Ireland, we had 30 days to bring him to an NCT centre where they do the vehicle registration or VRT inspection for customs. Now we had to present the car there and with all of its documents, and I'll go through a rough list of exactly what we had to bring down. We had to bring the car's original logbook, which I actually had translated from German into English. I didn't want to import Mobi as an exclusively wheelchair vehicle because I'm not a wheelchair user, and it'll be only on the occasion when my uncle visits and perhaps some other special events when we'll get to use it for its wheelchair capacity. So otherwise its main use is going to be as a classic vehicle, which will cover kind of all uses. So we imported it as a classic car. I had to bring proof of ID, my driver's license and my passport. We also had with us we needed to bring evidence of shipping the car in. That's to work out whether it's only been in the country 30 days or not, because there's a nominal fine for days beyond that. I even had my cabin card, and this one states that we brought a car and a transporter over from Germany, so that satisfied them about that. We had to have a receipt of purchase, which is a bit like the Irish RF200 form. They have a similar kind of a thing between the seller and owner, and the new owner in Germany. I also had to have proof of my PPS number, but that's because, you know, with it being VRT and revenue, there's a tax element to it, so that's my tax number. The one awkward one nowadays, I suppose, not a lot of us actually get all our bills in the post anymore, so I had to have a utility bill, and the best I could come up with was a bank statement, which actually was printed off in the bank computer, but actually had to be stamped in the bank for it to be acceptable for them. They need to be able to see the chassis number on the car, and that's plain and obvious on the floor of Kadetts. You then need to fill in their forms, which you can print out off the internet. I think that's called VRTVPD, which is extremely like my email address for Vantage Point Video. Funnily enough, they are more interested in just the body, the chassis number. It is what it says it is, and that you're going to use it for what you say you're going to use it for. They also want to make sure who you are, so that's why they check through all of those documents. It took about 45 minutes really in all, because the NCT centre is liaising with revenue, so they have to go through a lot of checks of the documents and passing it on. But they're happy, they've had everything. You basically, and this is quite unfortunate, it's 50 miles away where I had to go, so it's a 100-mile round trip with the car. You can't actually complete it there on the day, so I came back home, and in fact the man thought that it would actually take a bit longer than maybe even 10 days he was saying, but actually I did get a text straight away that evening, and revenue had accepted all the paperwork and had calculated the amount I would have to pay. And I was delighted. I thought I'd be able to just take out my bank card and pay for it there and then, but unfortunately they don't accept that, and I had to go again the next day that they're open, and they're only open 2 days a week, so I had to wait till the following week and go down and present myself and pay with that debit card at the centre, and all that they needed me present for was to sign "I have paid," and then they give you your number. So wasn't extremely happy about having to do that extra trip, but I made good use of it because I booked George in for a pre-NCT and made good use of the trip. But still a bit of an imposition. That meant there was 200 miles of driving involved in just presenting the car to the nearest vehicle registration office. But then at that point you're actually handed over the paperwork, and Mobi has been given his Irish registration number. So I'm absolutely delighted to have that. Thanks to eireplates.com who donated these to the project. Absolutely first class service. Ordered them on a Wednesday evening and they were here on Friday afternoon. I'm delighted with the pressed aluminium plates. I think they suit Mobi's age absolutely perfect. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from the Mobi project now. We have to get on with Chewy, who's just behind me here. I want to finish that project before I get on with this, so it'll be about a month and a half before we get on to tidying Mobi up and getting him ready for the NCT. That's the National Car Test in Ireland, the equivalent of the MOT. So we have our VRT, and there's just one other little inspection we have before Mobi can be officially declared an Irish car. Are you checking out Mobi, Nancy? Right. And what do you think? A bit of work to do? Come on out. Thanks for checking it out, Nance. Yeah, there's some birds there worth chasing, I'd say.